Happy 4th of July. And again, it's raining. Every time I do these videos for a barbecue, it rains. I don't know if you could see or hear that, but it is pouring. But we're gonna do it anyway. We're gonna make the best of it. So what I put together today, my budget was $20 for 6 to 8 people. I came in way under budget, so I don't know if I'm gonna throw some things in or if I'm just gonna leave it out and do what I thought. So for this video, I am going to use things that are in my house, such as spices, fats. One thing I'm gonna use 2 eggs for, it's a want and not a need, because if it was a need, I would have bought it with the extra little bit of money. It's just more like a garnish or something, I guess, maybe. And then later, I'm going to show you how to make a cake from pantry staples and from stuff that I purchased. So it's not totally pantry staples. So we have a lot to do. I'm really excited about this one. I'm gonna do some things I've never done before, but I gotta get right to it. So without further ado, let's get it, let's go. Let's heat up those pots, come on. All right, here we go. This is everything I got. I got a bag of Idaho potatoes from Walmart. They're a little bit cheaper than the other bag, and they're both 5 pounds. I got some hot dog buns from Aldi's. I got the pineapple back there. We're gonna do at least two things with it. I got 4 ears of corn that I'm gonna cut in half. I got some beans. Those beans I've had, but I went to make sure they were on the shelf at Walmart before I used my beans, and they're there for $1. I got some pork chops on markdown. I got some chicken tenderloins on manager special. I got some Colby Jack cheese from Aldi's, some hot dogs. The barbecue sauce, that is a placeholder. I went to Dollar General and I bought theirs for $1.25, but it's out in the car. There's the barbecue sauce that was in the car. So I'm just gonna run out and get it, but I put that out there for right now. So that's everything, guys. Let's get started. First thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start on those beans. All right, so I washed off my corn. I broke them in half. I'm gonna put them in a pot of water up here, just off camera. My beans, I washed and sorted them and picked out anything I didn't like. There really wasn't anything, it was just broken pieces. But here's something. My rule of thumb, if anything floats, I take it out. So there's a floater and there's a floater. But we're gonna get these in the Instant Pot because one of the silks got in there. We're gonna get these in the Instant Pot because I didn't soak them last night. So I got my beans in the pot. You're gonna add enough water to cover them, 6 to 8 cups. That looks good. That's 6 cups. Add a teaspoon of salt. And we're gonna cook that on high for 25 minutes. And then we're gonna let it natural release for about 10 minutes. So I got it plugged in, turn it to on. We're gonna do 25 minutes on high. Start. All right, so mostly I peeled the potatoes. We're gonna chop these down to whatever size you want because we're gonna make potato salad. I do have a chop box, but my son that has autism likes to organize things and he puts things away and we can never find them. It'll turn up in a few days, but for now, I can't find it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna chop these potatoes up in as uniform as I can get them. I like mine a little bit on the bigger side to start with because whenever I make them smaller, they always turn out to be mush. Might stick in. So I'm gonna get a good wedge about the first finger and I'm gonna put that into quarters, I think, and throw it back up here. I did weigh out the potatoes. I weighed them out to be about 3 pounds. So I left 2 pounds behind to do whatever else I want to do. I don't need 2 pounds, but I don't think I need 5 pounds of potatoes. So onward, forward. Okay, so I chopped up the potatoes. I put 1 more small potato in there. I just felt like it needed another potato, okay? I got my new pot here that Trey bought me for Mother's Day. I'm gonna add the potatoes down in there. Just gotta add enough water. I see brown spots and that kind of concerns me. Let me take those out. Add enough water to cover the potatoes. And we're gonna cook these until they're fork tender, but not mashed potatoes. You need a little bit more water, but we'll get there. And adds a good amount of salt. Best time to salt the potatoes is now. Okay, gotta get those boiling. All right, here's some of the potatoes. I took them, I just drained them. I didn't rinse them. What you do now is you add 2 tablespoons of vinegar. Could be white vinegar, could be apple cider vinegar, could be pickle juice. I got a jar of used up pickles. So I'm gonna add a tablespoon of the pickle juice. And, hold on, a tablespoon of the apple cider. I'm just trying to split it up between the 2. And a tablespoon of the apple cider. So it's 2 tablespoons in total. One. And put the rest of that in there. That helps coat the I don't know. If I remember what it does, I'll tell you. So I'm gonna put a little extra one in there because I kind of did it wonky. I'm going to take a spatula and I'm just gonna kind of fold it around. And then we're just gonna move it to the side. I might even put it in the refrigerator to let it get good and cold so we can finish making it. So I'm just gonna take it and fold it. Now I know these potatoes are larger. I'll cut them down once they get cold. If I do it now, they'll just break up. So I'm gonna try and just scoop it around like that. And that's it. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna slice the pineapples because I want to start on dessert. So I'm not gonna do this on camera because it never comes out pretty. Once I get all the outermost casing off, I'll show you. Basically what I do is I chop the top and the bottom and just zoop, zoop, zoop around the sides. All right, so what I'm gonna do with the pineapple, now that I got it kinda diced up, is I'm gonna start cutting it into chunks so that we can use it on the kebabs we're gonna make. And I'll get the center out as we go. But that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna cut them into chunks. I guess like that size. The entire thing. Where'd the core go? I'm gonna do all of it like that, and then we're gonna get out the ones I'm gonna need for the dessert. All right, here we go. This is for dessert. This is the pantry staple dessert I was telling you about. I made this similarly on my last holiday video. I think Memorial Day, I did a chocolate wacky cake or depression cake, whatever you want to call it. This time I thought I would change it up. I wanted it to resemble like maybe a pineapple upside down cake, but not really, because every time I've made it, it's not worked out. So what we're going to do is like make a pineapple cake with a brown sugar kind of a topping. I'm hoping it's going to work out. I'm going to try it. I don't know if it's a thing. All right, I'm dirtying way more dishes than I need to, but I'm going to sift the flour and all the dry ingredients. You don't have to do that. That's just something that I want to do. Oh, I thought there was something in there. All right, so we're gonna add the flour. I'm gonna sift it after we get everything in there. Baking soda, salt, sugar. Boom. Gotta stir that around. This is really all you have to do. Might be able to make it in here and not use... we'll see. Never mind. I'm just going to make it like I thought I was going to do it. So I'm going to sift it because I like the way it makes my cakes lighter. I like how I make sure all the ingredients are well combined that way. So that's what I'm going to do. And it's going to be a quick sift. It's nothing spectacular. You could use a strainer, put a cup in there and do that. Or, just get this stuff out of the way. You just do it the good old-fashioned way. You just shaky, 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 shaky. Just like that, see? So what we're gonna do, just like we did last time, is we're gonna make 3 wells. 1. I'll make a bigger one over there because that's where the oil's gotta go. 2. And 3. Okay? It's not rocket science. Vanilla. Apple cider vinegar. Oil. Why you put it in this way? I don't know. Maybe one day I'll look it up. And then we're just going to add our water and start mixy, mixy, mixy. I'm going to keep doing that until it's smooth. All right, so I took the pineapples. I had them sitting in a strainer, so most of the liquid drops out. I totally forgot to add some pineapple juice instead of water. Yeah, it's too late now, so I'll just figure something out to do with the reserved pineapples. I mean, pineapple juice. So I'm just going to finely dice this a little bit because the batter's really thin. Okay, so you want it kind of dry, okay? So I'm just gonna get a little bit more paper towel and pat that dry. I just patted it dry. I didn't squish it dry. I didn't want to squeeze all the liquid out of it, but I wanted to get just the outermost dry. So I'm gonna take this, I'm gonna add it to this bowl right here. It's a container, it's not really a bowl. I'm going to drop that in there. I got as much of the like pointy pieces out as I could, but I still see some here and there. And we're just going to give it a nice little dusting. This is going to keep it from sinking to the bottom and staying. It's supposed to anyway. All right, let's get the batter back. I don't remember if I showed it to you or not, but I moved it back into the tall container. All right, you see my hands, I got flour. I had to grease and flour the pan. I forgot to do that after I told you guys not, don't forget, right? All right, so we're just gonna fold this in. And then when that's done, we'll get my hands washed. Okay. Just fold it in. Just like that. Okay? And now we're going to add it to our 9x13. Boom. And we're just going to add it to the pan. I'm going to go right down the middle and let it do what it do. Okay? There we go. We scrape the rest of that out real quick. All right, so that's your brown sugar. Can I get any smaller whisk? Okay, that was sitting out for a minute. We're going to add the butter, and I'm going to put it like plops all over the place just so. Now this is country crock vegetable spread. It's not really butter. Only because I talk about Eric being allergic to milk, and somebody might say that why are you feeding him butter? I'm not. All right. Now, so to keep it with that sandy texture, you want to add a tablespoon of flour. Okay? I need a bigger whisk than what I got. All right, I just use a fork. And we're just going to mix that until it looks like sand. All right, so this is what mine looks like. Now I'm using dark brown, so the moisture in it is higher than if you were using light brown sugar. But that's okay because I'll get a better caramelization. And then we're just going to sprinkle this all about. I'm going to use my fingers. That's why I had to go wash them. But I'm just going to kind of sprinkle it about. I feel like that'll be a better way to go than trying to get it on there and make it even and all that kind of stuff. So that's what I'm going to do. That's my plan. Make a new plan, Stan. Who knows that song? All right, I got to stop talking so much. Okay, that's the last of it. Let's go back to whatever else I have to make. I got a lot to do. All right, in the oven that goes. All right, for the baked beans, I'm going to use what I have in my house. It calls for an onion and some peppers. I didn't buy any because, look, here's some onions I have. It's frozen, okay? I have a piece of a frozen one in here, and I have a green one in here. I don't really like green pepper, but guess what? That's what's in my house, and that's what I'm using. It also calls for bacon. I don't have any bacon. Now, that definitely wasn't in the budget, and that's not a pantry staple. That's a when we can afford it kind of a thing. But what I do have in my freezer is the bacon grease, and that's what we're going to use. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to dice all that up. All right, guys, I couldn't do it. My reflux was screaming, don't add it. Just don't do it. Well, I went back in the freezer and I found a piece of a yellow one in there. That's the red one that was frozen. So that's what I'm going with. That's what I have. That's it. Let me show you the beans. There's what the beans are looking like. I'm just going to drain them, and then I'm going to meet you over at the frying pan. All right, so I dropped a dollop of the bacon down in here. Starting to smoke. I got to turn it down a little bit. Well, I actually turned it off. I got to turn it back on. All right. We're just going to let that go around the pan. And then we're going to add the peppers and the onions. Ooh, it's got water in it. All right, it's probably going to splatter because I have a lot of water in my vegetables here, so I'm going to turn it off real quick. All right, I'm going to push it in, and hopefully it doesn't splatter everywhere. I tried to get as much water off as I could because everything was frozen. Now, if you don't have the pepper, you don't need it. I just happen to have it in the freezer because I wasn't going to use it at all. So we're just going to cook it down a little bit. All right, that's done. I'm going to do the paper towel trick, get some of the bacon grease out of the pan. We don't want grease floating around in our food. All right, so my heat is off right now. I'm going to add a half a cup of ketchup. Two-thirds cup barbecue sauce, and I did get my barbecue sauce out of the car. half a cup of brown sugar. Okay, I don't know if I said anything, but this is not my recipe, so I'm following a recipe. It calls for 2 tablespoons of yellow mustard. I'm going to start with 1. Or stone ground mustard, like Gouldens. I also need some vinegar. 1/4 cup apple cider vinegar. And I'm gonna give it a dash of some liquid smoke, not too much because I only got a little bit and Eric wants it for his hot dogs. So a little bit. All right, so we're just gonna mix that together, let it warm, and then we're gonna move over to the casserole dish and mix the rest of it over there. As soon as that, oh, might help if I turn it back on. Okay, just warm it through. All right, so we're gonna take our beans that I drained. Can't get beans in a can, that much for $1. And like I said, you don't have to use the peppers or the onion. You could have used onion powder, garlic powder. I might even add some in a minute once I mix this up and get a quick taste. See what it's doing. Now this should thicken on its own. If it doesn't, you could always add a cornstarch slurry. All right, let me give that a great big mix. I added a little bit more of everything because I wanted a little bit more sauce in there than it was actually there. We're gonna put those in the oven, 350 uncovered.
And those are done. They look yummy. All right, in the interest of time, I'm going to do a voiceover for this portion. For the potatoes, you're going to need 1 cup of Hellmann's mayonnaise or whatever brand you use, and then a half a cup of Miracle Whip. Trust me on this. It gives it something in the background. As a matter of fact, I felt like there wasn't enough after I got to mixing, and I added approximately another half a cup of Miracle Whip. The recipe calls for 3 tablespoons of the sweet relish. I make it all the time. I ended up making extra potatoes this time, so I put 5 in. You don't see me do it here, but I do it later on. All right, we're going to add some yellow mustard here. Don't add too much because if you know, you know. If you add too much, it's not a good thing. You could also add like Gouldens or something like that, or Dijon if you prefer that. And then we're going to add some vinegar. I ended up adding more than what you will see here. It called for 2 tablespoons. I ended up doing 5. And then we're going to whisk all of that together. I then added a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half of onion powder, a teaspoon to a teaspoon and a half, more like 2, of the garlic powder, and some pepper. Before we move on to mixing it to the potatoes, the consistency and what you see, what I'm adding, is not the extra add-ins. I added that after I mixed it in with the potatoes. Alrighty, so earlier when I made the potatoes, I made them bigger. I cut them all down smaller now that they're cold and we can mix things together. I'm going to add about half of the mixture because adding a little bit at a time ensures that you don't have too much mayonnaise or whatever in there. It was at this point I decided to throw the rest of the onion I had in there. I did go back and add it to the amount that I spent. Here I go again. Some extra garlic powder and some extra onion powder. That's the extra ingredients I was talking about earlier. In the intro, I talked about 2 eggs. It's a want and not a need. Eric wanted some eggs. I made them for him, some hard-boiled eggs, and I had them extra, so I'm just throwing them in. They don't have to go in. It was so little, you didn't even notice it in there anyway. And we're just going to fold that in with my big old spatula. I don't know what happened to me adding the salt, but believe me, I added it, and now we're going to give it a big old stir with my spatula. It was right about here off camera that I added the extra Miracle Whip that I told you about earlier. I thinly sliced up the rest of Eric's hard-boiled eggs, hit it with some paprika, and we are done.
Okay, so I made one just to see if it worked out, and it did. So I've been soaking my skewers in some water, and what we're going to do is I took a piece of the chicken, at the fat end. I didn't pull that white thing out, but I did cut off what was sticking out because I feel like if I did that, I'd tear a lot of the meat and I wouldn't be able to do what I want to do. I could have added way more pineapple to my cake too. I'm disappointed in myself, but they'll eat the pineapple. All right, so you're going in the hard part of it, and then what I'm doing is I'm gonna fold it back and forth. So that big end is there, and then I'm gonna do this. And then we're gonna flop it back over. Let me get a small one because we're getting the top. Put that one there. And if we can get it to go back over, that would be great. Boom. And then when I moved it down, I just spread the girl out. There you go. And that's what our skewers are gonna look like. I don't know what that little thing hanging there is, but it's there. I'm gonna do that to all 9. Okay, so it's a little dark on the camera, but I don't think it's dark in the viewfinder, so we'll see. So again, flip it up, go in, do the other side, flip it over. Oops, my glasses just fell. Put it in. Put that one on there, and the last one, just put it on. Ah, that one doesn't want to work. We'll go with this one. Boom, and just spread it out. Okay. I got a few more to go, but that's what we're doing. All right, these are done. We're gonna get them out in the grill. I gotta wash my hands, cut up the pork chops, and we'll get those on the grill. All right, so I'm gonna take the pork chops because there's a lot of meat. And I know there's only 3 here, at least I think there's only 3. But the amount of meat that we have to cook for the amount of people we have, we should be okay. I'm gonna try and cut this pork chop down into 3 pieces, best I can. But first I'm gonna take the bone out, and I'm just gonna go follow the edges, the bone, and just follow along it because I want it as close to the bone as I can get. All right, so that's how I got the meat cut right now. I was trying to get as much of the fat off as I can. It's a very fatty piece of pork that I got. But I still can get a lot of pieces of meat out of this. It's so fatty, it's tough. I'm gonna cut them down into little pieces like this so that people can grab 1, 2, whatever, and they're not just taking a big one and wasting it because we're gonna have way more stuff than this. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna start breaking this down, cutting the fat out, and do that. Like this piece right here looks like a piece. That's a strip, but still food. And then we'll just cut this down into pieces. Boom, just like that. Just like that, right? It's still cutting away. Just like that. That's what I'm gonna cut down to small pieces. All right, that's how many pieces I cut it into so that everybody can get some. And I'm gonna put these out of the grill. I'm not taking you out to the grill with me because it's raining. So I have to run between the raindrops. But what I'm gonna do is I'm going to hit them with some liquid smoke, and then we're gonna grill them, and we're gonna put barbecue sauce on them. That's what we're doing. For this side that we're gonna do, you're gonna take your potato and you're gonna cut it about a 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch. I'm gonna go right about there. I think that's good. And we're gonna slice them down and cut out any bad spots you see though. because you don't want that in your potato. Okay? We're gonna put them in a bowl right here with some avocado oil, because we're gonna bake these and we're gonna make like almost like mini loaded baked potatoes. I don't know how to explain it, but like that. So we're gonna cook these in the oven. Just like that. Boom. In it goes. Don't wash it. Well, wash it before you cut it, but don't wash it afterwards. We want the starch on it. Boom. All right. Okay, so we got a little bit of olive oil in there. Not olive oil. I have avocado oil in there. And we're just gonna get the potatoes going. I'm gonna season them on the pan. We're gonna put some salt and pepper only on them because they're gonna be like a baked potato. I'll show you what I mean in a sec. And I did not use all of my potatoes. I feel like I'm having too much food for my family that's gonna be here that they can eat. What we're gonna do is we're gonna place these down on the sheet pan, just like that. Gotta keep a few out for Eric, because his has to go on a separate pan. All right, so I'm gonna add some salt and pepper. I gotta cut that spot off. Where'd my knife go? All right, so that's what I'm gonna do for my family, but I still have 3 more potatoes. So I could make much more than this, and if you make them slightly thinner or thicker, that really depends on what you're gonna do there. Like this are thin ones. But we're gonna go down with some salt on each one of them, okay? A little bit of pepper. And then we're gonna flip it over and do the same thing on the other side. In the oven, they go, and I'm gonna take Eric's and I'm gonna do the same thing with his. All right, that's what they look like when I flip them over. And we're gonna give that a couple more minutes, and then we're gonna add some cheese. All right, we're coming down to home stretch, guys. We're gonna put some cheese on this, but for Eric's is dairy-free. I'm just gonna use a little bit of each, the cheddar and the Mexican blend. What we're gonna do is we're gonna take the cheese that I bought. Don't even need it all. We're gonna have so much leftovers. And we're gonna put some on each one. Right now I'm gonna put 1 piece until we put it back in. Or till I make it fit like the way I want it to fit. Okay? We're gonna do that to each and every one of them in there. All right, that's going back in the oven. I still have 2.5 slices left, or 2 1/4. Okay, there's Eric's, the dairy-free. Going back in the oven. Hot dogs are done. There's the potato salad. There are the chicken kebabs. I had to finish them in the oven because it started raining. And there's the barbecued pork chops. There are the beans. There are little baked potato wedges. The 3 on the left are Eric's and the rest are ours. And there are pineapple wedges we have left over. There's the corn. And there's our cake. And there's my plate. I'm going to meet you at the table.
If you get any benefit at all from my content, you can help me out by clicking like, share, commenting, and definitely hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you'll be notified every time I upload a new video.
Happy 4th of July! Woohoo! We're going to sample some things. Eric said that if the beans are good, you know you're going to have to make them like that all the time. So why don't we start with the beans? See how they are. Ready? Let's go. They are good. They're good. They're good. All right. What do you want to go for next? The pork chop? It's barbecued pork chop. I took a little taste so I had time to chew. Ready? Let's go. Oh, that's tender.
It's really good.
Yep. What do you want to go on next?
Potato.
Potato? All right. Oh, that potato. I'm just going to pick mine up and eat it. You could put chives on top, sour cream on top. We didn't have it either, so we couldn't. Are you ready? Go. Oh, that's good. Where's my napkin? They're all the way over there, but I got a little towel. Let's try some potato salad and then we'll go back to the chicken. Everybody is waiting. They're over there. They're over there. Say hello, everybody.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are.
They're all waiting.
I'm waiting.
Jessica said she brought her appetite. That's what she brought to the table.
Yes,
You ready?
I did.
All right, let's go. That's good. That's good. We'll taste the cake later. Let's just try the barbecue chicken with the pineapple. I'm just gonna pick it up and try and bite a piece off. I don't know if it's gonna be nice, but look. I'm gonna have sticky fingers. All right. I don't know. Hold on. Give me a minute. I got a feeling it's gonna like come off in my. That came right off here. All right, I got a piece of the chicken and a piece of the pineapple. You ready? You're gonna do it?
Yeah.
All right, let's go. Oh, that is so good. All right. So we still have some pineapple, some hot dog. Hot dog's a hot dog. It's a grilled hot dog with some liquid smoke on it. We'll be back later for the cake, and we'll let you know what everybody thinks about the budget 4th of July dinner. All right, see you later. And that's everything we have left over, even after Trey ate and Mariah ate. All right, we're back for dessert. I am stuffed. How about you? I took a small piece, but I've never made this before, so let's see what it tastes like. Let's go. It's very moist, though. Oh, my hand's going to a spasm. Hold on. All right, let's go. I just got a big old piece of pineapple, too. That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. Make that. Oh, goodness. All right, so I'm going to do the wrap up right here. Me and Eric will go last. Tyler, what'd you think about dinner?
It was really good. I loved it.
And you loved it. Speak up loud. Aiden,
I really loved it.
you have a favorite?
Not really.
Jesse, what'd you think?
Oh, that was super freaking amazing.
What was your favorite?
The beans.
The beans.
The beans.
Please, what'd you think about dinner?
It was great.
Did you have a favorite? A favorite?
Potato salad.
Potato salad. Nick's over there. What'd you think about dinner?
It was great.
Did you have a favorite?
The potatoes.
Yeah, nobody else has had the cake but me and him yet. Trey just walked in. Can I help you? She's waving at me.
I forgot.
What?
The potato salad is a must try because I don't like mayonnaise, and that was good.
You hear that? She said it's a must try. She doesn't like mayonnaise, and that was good. Eric, what'd you think about dinner?
I thought it was amazing.
Amazing. Do you have a favorite?
The baked beans.
The baked beans? Yeah, they were a hit. Mine was the pork chops, believe it or not. It was, I liked it with the barbecue sauce on it. Did I get everybody? Wait, I didn't get Joe. What'd you think about dinner?
Wow.
Did you have a favorite?
Yeah, the chicken with the pineapple on the skewers.
melts in your mouth.
Melted in your
Amazing.
mouth.
Amazing.
All right, that's everybody. I'll put Trey what Trey thinks up on the text after he eats his, and that's it. I hope you try it. I hope you like it. Leave me a comment. Either way, see you later. Bye.